So I missed my exit yesterday. Completely missed it.
How does a grown adult miss an exit they drive every single day?
Because I was staring at a car. Maria. A very shiny car.
Explain.
I'm sitting at a red light, minding my own business, and this car pulls up next to me. Brand new, spotless. The kind of car that looks like it's never even seen rain.
Uh-oh.
And I just start spiraling. Who owns that? What do they do? Why don't I have that? What am I even doing with my life?
All of that at one red light.
40 seconds. And somehow I aged 3 years.
That's genuinely impressive.
It's not. Because the light turns green, and I'm still staring at the car instead of the road, and I sail straight past my exit. On autopilot.
Where did you end up?
20 minutes in the wrong direction, calling my manager, explaining that I got, quote, distracted by a car.
You said that out loud? To your manager?
I panicked, Maria. What was I supposed to say?
Maybe not the truth.
Too late for that advice. And honestly, that whole drive is basically the reason the rearview method exists now, even though I didn't have a name for it yet.
Wait, what's the rearview method?
Hold on. I'm getting there.
Fine. But here's the part that actually stuck with me later that night. I wasn't jealous of the car. Not really.
Then what was it?
It was this feeling like everyone else is somehow further ahead, and I'm stuck at the same red light I've always been at.
That's such a specific kind of dread.
It is. And I realized I do this constantly. Not just with cars. Coworkers, old classmates, strangers online. I'm always checking the lane next to me.
Instead of checking your own.
Exactly. So I started trying something that night, and I've been calling it the rearview method ever since.
That's oddly poetic for a story about missing an exit.
Everything profound in my life happens by accident, Maria. That's basically my whole personality.
Hey there. Welcome back to Speak Unstoppable, where English feels like a real conversation, not a textbook.
I'm Maria.
And I'm John, still recovering from missing an exit over a car.
We're keeping that one forever.
Fair enough. But it's the perfect setup for today.
Today, we're talking about comparing yourself to others, why it happens, and how to actually stop the spiral.
Because that red light feeling John described, that happens to learners constantly, especially online.
So today, we'll break down the rearview method properly and figure out what to look at instead of everyone else's lane.
Later, our word tour gives you 6 words for talking about comparison and confidence.
And Rewrite It turns comparison-driven thoughts into calmer, grounded ones.
Great for B1 and B2 learners, and if you're closer to A2, just follow along and repeat what feels useful.
So, John, be honest. Who do you compare yourself to the most?
Honestly, old college friends. Specifically the ones who post everything.
The highlight reel crowd.
Exactly. New house, new baby, new job title, and meanwhile I'm just posting a photo of my lunch.
There's nothing wrong with a lunch photo.
There's something wrong with feeling envious over someone else's kitchen renovation, though.
Envious means wanting something someone else has and feeling a little bitter about not having it yourself.
That's exactly it. Envious, and then immediately ashamed of being envious, which is a fun extra layer.
A double spiral.
A very efficient one. But here's what I noticed. None of those posts are lying exactly. They're just incomplete.
Nobody posts the argument before the photo.
Right. Nobody posts the mortgage stress under the new house, or the sleepless nights under the new baby.
So, we're comparing our full, messy life to someone else's highlight reel.
A reel with all the boring, hard, human parts edited out.
That's such an unfair fight.
It is, and yet we do it constantly. Without even noticing, we've started.
So, what's the actual fix besides just don't look at your phone?
Well, that helps a little, honestly.
Fair, but not exactly practical advice for an entire episode.
True. The real fix is remembering that a highlight reel was never meant to be a fair benchmark for your own private, unedited life.
Benchmark, meaning a standard you measure yourself against.
Exactly. And their reel was never designed to be your benchmark in the first place.
That reframes the whole scroll for me. Honestly.
It should. You're not losing a race against people who were never even running the same one.
I think I needed to hear that phrased exactly like that.
Write it down somewhere you'll actually see it again, not just in this episode.
Can I bring up something that bothers me about this whole topic?
Please.
People say just don't compare yourself to others like it's a switch you can flip.
As if we choose to do it on purpose.
Right. Nobody wakes up and decides, today I will feel terrible about my life. It just happens, automatically, usually before coffee.
So telling someone to simply stop doesn't really work.
It doesn't, because comparison isn't really the actual problem.
Wait, what do you mean?
Comparison is just information. Noticing a difference between your life and someone else's isn't dangerous by itself.
Then what turns it dangerous?
What we do with it afterward. If you notice a difference and feel curious, that's fine, even useful.
But if you notice it and immediately spiral into shame,
that's where it turns harmful. The noticing isn't the enemy. The spiral is.
So the goal isn't zero comparison, it's catching the spiral before it starts.
Exactly, and that takes practice, not willpower.
I always thought comparison itself was the villain.
It's more like a smoke detector. Sometimes it's warning you about something real, and sometimes it's just going off because you burned toast.
A smoke detector for feelings. I like that.
And you don't destroy the smoke detector, you just learn to check what's actually burning before you panic.
That feels a lot more manageable than just stop comparing yourself.
Much more manageable. And honestly, much kinder to yourself, too.
Kinder. And more useful, since it actually gives you something to do instead of just feeling guilty.
Something to do instead of just something to feel bad about.
Exactly that. Action beats guilt every single time.
Can we talk about validation for a second? Because I think that's hiding underneath a lot of this.
Validate means to confirm that something or someone is good, real, or worthwhile.
Right. And a lot of comparison is really just us searching for validation in the wrong place.
Explain that.
Like, if I see someone's promotion and feel awful, it's not really about them. It's that some part of me wants proof that I'm doing okay, too.
So the shiny car wasn't really about the car.
Never about the car. It was about wanting some external sign that I'm on the right track.
But a stranger's car can't actually give you that sign.
No, and that's the whole problem. I was asking a red light for validation.
A red light has no opinions about your life, John.
Apparently not. And once I realized that, it got a little easier to laugh at myself instead of spiral.
So where should that validation actually come from, if not other people's highlight reels?
Honestly, from noticing your own quiet progress, the stuff nobody posts about.
Like finally understanding a grammar rule that used to confuse you.
Exactly. Nobody puts that on social media, but it's real progress. And it's yours completely.
That kind of validation doesn't disappear the moment you close the app either.
No, it stays with you because you actually earned it slowly on your own timeline.
That's a much steadier kind of validation than a stranger's shiny car.
Infinitely steadier, and it doesn't vanish the second someone else posts something bigger.
A validation that actually stays put, no matter what shows up on anyone's feed.
Exactly. Because it never depended on the feed in the first place.
Okay, but let me push back a little here.
Go ahead.
Isn't some comparison actually useful? Like, if I see someone speaking English way better than me, that can be motivating.
That's fair, and I don't think all comparison is bad.
So, where's the line?
I think it's the difference between inspiration and a benchmark you can never actually reach.
Explain the difference.
If you see someone fluent and think, I want that eventually, let me learn from them, that's inspiration. It points you forward.
But
But if you think, I should already be there, what's wrong with me, that's using them as a benchmark for right now, which isn't fair or realistic.
because you don't know their whole timeline.
Exactly. Maybe they've been practicing for 10 years. Maybe English is their fourth language already.
You're comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10.
That's exactly it. And no story makes sense read that way.
So the fix isn't ignoring impressive people completely.
No, it's asking a different question. Not why am I not there yet, but what's one small thing I can learn from watching them?
That feels like a much calmer way to admire someone.
It is. Because admiration doesn't have to come with self-punishment attached.
Those two things just got glued together somewhere along the way.
They did, and honestly, unsticking them might be the most useful skill in this whole episode.
Admiration without the self-punishment. I want that tattooed somewhere.
Maybe just write it on a sticky note first. Tattoos are a bigger commitment.
Fair point. Sticky note it is. Right on the mirror where I'll actually see it every morning.
So let's actually build the rear view method properly, since I've been teasing it this whole episode.
Finally,
Okay, so on a real road, your side mirrors show you other cars, other lanes, people moving at their own pace.
the comparison mirrors.
Exactly. But your rear view mirror shows you where you've already been, your own road behind you.
So instead of checking the side mirror constantly,
You check the rear view instead and ask, how far have I actually come from where I started?
that's such a simple shift.
It is, but it changes everything because your past self is the only comparison that's actually fair.
Fair how?
You know exactly what your past self was dealing with. The same fears, the same limited time, the same real life.
Unlike a stranger whose whole situation you don't actually know.
Right, you're finally comparing two chapters of the same story instead of two completely different books.
So how would this actually work for a learner feeling behind in English?
Instead of comparing to a fluent stranger online, they'd ask, what could I say 6 months ago that I can't say now?
Or even what used to feel terrifying that feels normal now.
Exactly. Small, honest, measurable progress. Using your own life as the only fair benchmark.
I think that's genuinely more motivating than any highlight reel could ever be.
It is. Because it's actually true and it's completely yours. Nobody can take it or outdo it.
So next time I catch myself staring at someone's shiny life,
Check the rear view instead And look at how far your own road already stretches behind you.
That's a much better thing to check at a red light than someone else's bumper.
One more thing before we move on. What do we actually do in the moment when the spiral is already starting?
Like right at the red light.
Exactly. Before you've had time to reflect calmly about rearview mirrors.
I think the first step is just naming it. Saying, oh, this is comparison, instead of letting it run silently in the background.
Naming the smoke detector before it takes over the whole car.
Exactly. Once you notice it, you can ask one simple question. Is this useful information, or is this just a spiral starting?
And if it's just a spiral?
Then you gently redirect. Ask about your own rear view instead. What's actually true about my own progress right now?
That takes practice, though. It's not automatic.
No, and it shouldn't feel automatic yet. The goal isn't never feeling envious again.
That would be an impossible goal, honestly.
Completely impossible. The goal is catching it faster each time and choosing a kinder question sooner.
So progress here looks like catching it in 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes.
Exactly. And eventually maybe just a passing thought instead of a whole spiral.
I actually feel a lot more grounded just talking through this.
Grounded means calm, stable, and connected to what's real, instead of swept away by every passing feeling.
That's exactly the word for it. Grounded, not perfect, just steady.
And steady is honestly plenty. Nobody needs to win a race that was never actually happening.
I think I'm going to actually try naming it out loud next time, even quietly, to myself.
Do it. Just saying, there's the spiral takes away some of its power immediately.
Like turning on a light in a dark room.
Exactly like that. The shape suddenly looks a lot less scary once you can actually see it.
Now let's slow down and walk through today's 6 words, all about comparison, confidence, and staying steady in your own life.
This is always my favorite part. The vague feelings finally get real names.
Exactly, and once something has a name, it's a lot easier to catch it happening.
Let's get into it. Our first word is envious.
Envious. Envious.
Envious means wanting something someone else has and feeling a little bitter about not having it yourself.
In conversation, you might say, I'll admit it, I felt a little envious seeing their new apartment.
Or in writing, he tried to hide how envious he felt about his friend's promotion.
And remember, envy isn't shameful, it's just information about what you actually want.
Information, not a character flaw. Our next word is benchmark.
Benchmark. Benchmark.
A benchmark is a standard or point of comparison you measure yourself, or something else, against.
You might say, I used to treat other people's careers as my personal benchmark, which never felt fair.
Or in writing, the old benchmark simply didn't apply to her completely different situation.
Your only fair benchmark is your own past self. Remember, not someone else's highlight reel.
Past self versus present self, always a fairer match. Our next word is validate.
Validate. Validate.
Validate means to confirm that something or someone is good, real, or worthwhile.
You could say, I don't need a stranger's car to validate that my life is going okay.
Or in writing, her quiet progress validated months of effort nobody else had actually seen.
External validation fades fast. The quiet kind actually sticks.
The kind that doesn't need an audience to still feel real. Our next word is spiral.
Spiral. Spiral.
A spiral, used this way, means a fast, downward cycle of increasingly negative thoughts or feelings.
You might say, one comparison thought turned into a full spiral within about 10 seconds.
Or in writing, he caught the spiral early this time, before it completely took over his evening.
Naming the spiral out loud is honestly half the battle. Like we said earlier.
Half the battle. And a lot cheaper than a new car. Our next word is grounded.
Grounded. Grounded.
Grounded means calm, stable, and connected to what's real, instead of swept away by every passing feeling.
You could say, checking my own rearview mirror instead of everyone else's helps me feel grounded again.
Or in writing, she sounded remarkably grounded, even while describing a genuinely stressful week.
Grounded doesn't mean nothing bothers you. It just means you don't get swept away by it.
A small distinction, but it makes a real difference day to day. Our final word is contentment.
Contentment. Contentment.
Contentment means a quiet, satisfied feeling with where you currently are, without needing anything more right now.
You might say, I'm finally starting to feel real contentment about my own slow progress.
Or in writing, true contentment rarely shows up in a highlight reel. It's far too quiet for that.
Which might be exactly why it gets overlooked so easily. Those were today's 6 words. Envious, benchmark, validate, spiral, grounded, and contentment. Try noticing just one of these feelings this week and naming it the moment it shows up.
Even just silently, in your own head.
Especially silently. Naming it privately is honestly where the real practice happens, long before it ever reaches a conversation.
And if you catch yourself checking someone's shiny life again,
just check your rearview mirror instead and see how far your own road has already come.
So now, let's do our Rewrite It segment. Taking comparison-driven thoughts and turning them into calmer, more grounded ones.
This is my favorite part, honestly. It's so practical.
Same, it's less theory, more real sentences you can actually steal for yourself.
I'll read the comparison thought, and you rewrite it live. No preparing in advance.
No cheating, got it. Let's try it. Comparison thought 1. Everyone my age is already so far ahead of me.
Rewrite, my own timeline is the only fair benchmark, and I'm exactly where my path has taken me.
Much calmer already, and it stops the panic before it even starts. Comparison thought 2. I feel so envious of people who seem naturally confident.
Rewrite, confidence is something built, not something people are simply born with.
That instantly makes it feel less permanent and more like something you can actually work toward. Comparison thought 3. Their life looks so much better than mine online.
Rewrite, I'm only seeing their highlight reel, not their whole unedited story.
Same honesty, way less shame attached to it. Comparison thought 4. I need someone to validate that I'm doing okay.
Rewrite, I can notice my own quiet progress and let that be enough for today.
That's such a grounded way to hand yourself the validation instead of waiting on someone else. Comparison thought 5. I always end up spiraling when I see other people's success.
Rewrite, I notice the spiral starting, and I'm choosing to check my own rear view instead.
Confident and self-aware, not apologetic at all. Comparison thought 6. I'll never feel content until my life looks like theirs.
Rewrite, contentment can start right here, with exactly what I already have today.
That one might be my favorite of the day, honestly.
It's grounded without pretending everything's perfect, and I think that's really the whole idea.
None of these rewrites erase the feeling completely. And that's actually the point.
No, they just stop the feeling from running the entire day like it used to for me.
One honest, grounded sentence said instead of a scramble genuinely changes everything.
It really does. And none of these rewrites are longer or fancier than the original comparison thought.
Just calmer and a little more grounded.
That's the whole shift, really. Not eliminating comparison completely, just choosing your own rearview mirror over everyone else's side lane.
I think that's genuinely the calmest definition of confidence I've heard all episode.
It's the only version that actually survives real life. The parts that don't look like anyone's highlight reel.
Which, let's be honest, is basically every life all the time.
Every single one. And that's exactly why the rearview method matters so much.
It's not about winning some invisible race.
There was never actually a race to begin with, just your own road stretching quietly behind you.
I think I'll actually notice that red light differently from now on.
Good. Next time, it's just a red light, not a verdict on your entire life.
So let's wrap up with today's core lesson.
Comparison isn't the enemy, the spiral is. And now you know how to catch it.
Your challenge this week, use the rearview method. Ask yourself how far you've come from your own past self, not someone else's highlight reel.
Even if the only proof is understanding one grammar rule better than you used to.
That still counts completely.
Drop your own rearview moment in the comments. We genuinely want to read them.
And if this helped even a little, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
Thank you for spending this time with us today.
Keep practicing, keep checking your own mirror.
And remember, your own road is the only race actually worth watching. Today and every day after this.
Bye for now.